Since childhood, we have been getting rewards. I don't know about you, but for a lot of parents, we give rewards to our children. We did. I remember for our kids, we gave M&Ms if they went potty on the potty chair. We all probably had some kind of reward chart for doing chores, for eating their vegetables, for obeying, for saying something kind. I remember as a child, for my sister and I, that when it came up to Christmas time, we had this Advent calendar, and each day in December had a piece of candy tied to it, and we could take that piece of candy off each day, and we would hear a devotion that led up to Christmas, led up to the birth of Christ. And we were always excited to not only get that piece of candy every day, but to hear the story, and we were definitely anticipating the reward of Christmas. We get rewards still as adults. We get rewards on credit cards. We get rewards on hotels. I just saw an email the other day about Triple Tuesday Bass Pro rewards if you shopped on Tuesday. So rewards are all around us, but the greatest reward for us as believers, Paul tells us in Philippians, is the reward of heaven. We run this race to get the heavenly prize, the reward of heaven. So a couple of things when we think about this generous reward. Every believer, I feel like, needs to have a goal. I mean, we really have a goal, just like Paul said, we have this goal of heaven. But how much do we really think about it? How much do we focus on it? Paul said he was pressing on. When we look at that a little bit deeper, it means that he was vigorously pursuing. Think about that. Let that sink in a little bit. Vigorously pursuing. What are you vigorously pursuing in your life? Maybe it's a career. Maybe you're vigorously pursuing a man or a woman wanting to get married to that point of them falling in love and you falling in love. I don't know what you're vigorously pursuing, but I want to ask, are you vigorously pursuing your spiritual life? You know, for a lot of us, we tend to get busy in our day and we kind of go along with things. We got all kinds of things going along. We kind of shuffle our feet through the day with no intention, no real pursuit. We've not really given those things to God. And if we're not careful, Satan can get in and start to take over our days and win the day instead of vigorously pursuing the day for the Lord, and the Lord wins in all things. How are you vigorously pursuing your spiritual walk? When is the last time you've made some pointed goals, you've even written them down, some goals for your spiritual life towards that generous reward that is heaven? The second thing I think as believers we need to think about, each believer must give all, not some. I've got a lot of things that I've got going on in my day today. I'm here filming this small group lesson. I've got a small group to meet with today. I've got some other things to do at work, but I'm also going to take my son and help him to buy his first car. I've got to go take care of my parents with some of their medical things. We pack our days with things, and sometimes we pack them so full that we don't really have a focus on what's going on in our day. We're not really living that out for Christ. I want you to think about this. You may be a teacher that is a Christian, but I want you to really think about the fact that you're a Christian teacher. You're a Christian first. You may be an employee who happens to be a Christian, but really you're a Christian employee. You may be a retiree that happens to be a Christian, but no. Paul's going to tell you you're a Christian retiree. You're putting Christ first in everything we do. That's what Paul is calling you to do. And here's what I want to encourage you, the same encouragement that Paul had. Let's run this race to the very end. Don't do it alone. I know that's why you're in groups together. But even for some of us, we may need better accountability. We may need to find that one other person that we do this journey together, because it's always easier together than it is by ourselves. Run this race all the way to the end. Have fun together as your group, unpacking this passage that Paul leads us through in Philippians.